Good morning, Henley-on-Thames, and welcome to
H.O.T Radio.
Our top stories today are: college raises awareness and help towards the Nepal earthquake. We'll be talking to the principal at Henley College about the programme they have put in place. U versus stress. We'll be discussing the exam stress that you guys face and how to conquer it. The head of student services will be speaking to us. Have any of you college lot got any free time? Why not join the enrichment programme? Stay tuned in and you'll find out what the enrichment programme can offer you. The regatta season is nearly upon us. As final preparations are being put in place, we'll talk to those living in Henley and try to understand why the regatta means so much to Henley and what they think. There's this and much more on today's issue of Hot News. It's currently 10 a.m. and 10 degrees outside. You are listening to H.O.T Radio. Having devastated millions, the Nepal earthquake is one of the worst disasters in modern history. Georgia Scandal is here with us today. Can you tell us more of what happened?
Of course, Jess. Reaching a magnitude of 7.8 on the Richter scale, the earthquake in Nepal has already claimed the lives of over 7,000 people, with at least 8.1 million being affected in some other way. With the initial tremors being felt on the 25th of April, it is quickly approaching the 1-month anniversary of the disaster. Despite this, they are not any closer to rebuilding not only their societies, but their lives. I spoke to Henley College Principal Jane Davies about the active efforts of the staff and students alike to raise funds and supplies.
Okay, so 22 of the college's cleaning staff are from Nepal and have family and friends who have been affected. So with this level of personal feeling, how long did it take to implement a plan to help the situation?
Well, it's pretty much straight away, actually. The estate's manager, Nikki Hansel, knows them, our staff very well, and has been working there for quite a long time, actually, because they've been part of the staff for ages. And as soon as it happened, really, she was talking to them about their families, and actually many of their families were okay, but lots knew people who weren't, you know. And when we heard statistics from them, like one of the villages, for example, nearby had 24,000 houses and there were 4 left, you know, those sorts of things. So we sort of tried to snap into action pretty quickly. So I think overnight, and Nikki did a lot of this work, she managed to get a tent and set up a stall, as you've seen outside in reception, and then engage our local business, moving business, Wilkins, within 24 hours, I think, really. So it was pretty fast moving. Yeah. And I think it was quite slow to start with, and then as soon as we got the word out there that we were collecting, we've had a really big, just an amazing result, more than we ever thought. So she worked very fast, I have to say.
Okay, and so on the college website, it actually mentions a sort of a box filling initiative. So that's a very interesting concept. Can you just sort of expand on that and tell us a bit more about what that entails?
Well, the reason we went for the box initiative was because I think younger people in particular, and I'm sure you remember, at school in the local area and across the country actually, there were the shoebox appeals for certain charities, Christmas time usually, and that tends to get people thinking, especially in younger age groups like in primary schools where they decorate the boxes and put lovely bits and bobs in. And the concept of boxes then extended to the fact that we could really target what we wanted to do with the donation. So there were food boxes given for those people who didn't really have a lot of spare stuff at home but wanted to go to the supermarket and buy things. And then other boxes that we could target to different areas in Nepal, or at least the charities could, with things like clothing and tents, children's nappies and all those sorts of toiletry type stuff. So that's where it came from, really, the fact that box appeals tend to be more popular because, I don't know, they seem to get people's imagination more.
Awesome. And this list isn't exhaustive, is it, either? So the clothes, the toiletries, if someone can think of something else like water purification tablets or little toys, that's fine as well, is it?
It is, and the restriction really we have is on haulage and freight, and therefore if it was anything, and I don't think anyone would bring anything like this, but anything flammable, for example, I know that some people have asked us whether camping stuff would be a good idea, and yes, it is a good idea, but we can't send it by freight or whatever. So yes, things outside of the list, as long as they're sendable, if you like, are fine.
And I think what's so great about this concept is how it allows everyone to contribute. It's not just a case of being forced to donate in a monetary format, which is quite off-putting to some people. So would you say that helped with developing the idea?
It did, and in fact, we were very quick to make the decision not to necessarily ask for money, though of course some people have donated money, but not that much. And mainly because actually the money anyway is helpful, but really what people actually need are the items quite quickly. So at the very start we decided that money wasn't going to be the answer. And in a college environment, and by definition students don't work usually that much, and not everyone's got money to give. So we decided that people could always dig around in their houses and find old clothes or old bedding and maybe younger brothers and sisters with old stuff. So we thought that would be more inclusive and actually do a better job of helping the people in Nepal anyway. So yeah, that was a conscious decision to do that. And
I think it really is important to just reiterate that it isn't a case of having to donate a lot or with an expensive price tag. Would you agree?
Not. Absolutely not. I mean, we've had donations that vary from some quite cheap but effective toothbrushes in a packet, brand new ones, but the basics, to, believe it or not, sheepskin boots that we donated. So however small, even if someone brought in 2 tins of soup, or a tin of soup, it's going to help someone. And whilst now it's sort of coming to an end, the donation period, we've been just overwhelmed with the size of the generosity and donation. We've had people coming in from the local area, just coming straight to the college. They've never been here before, which is quite nice that they've managed to come in and at least see a little bit of the college. So yeah, the size is irrelevant really. So in total, it's been huge, and it varies what people have given, and it's all gratefully received.
So how would you describe the response so far, and what do the cleaners think of the efforts?
Well, I think they're quite overwhelmed by it really, and I spent some time with Nikki talking to them, and they've been showing us some of the social media that they are exposed to in Nepal from their families. Of course, it's everywhere in this country, but you get a different angle from people who are actually over there. And the Twitter feeds, for example, have been quite shocking. And so they've been really pleased with the efforts, and I think it was a bit unexpected that we would rally round and particularly put them in the newspaper. So I think they've been really pleased with it, and I think what we need to do now is to talk to them about what they would like to do to thank the local community for their donations. It's been bigger than we ever imagined, actually, much bigger. Wilkins across the road have even they've told me how many cubic tons it is, and I can't remember, but just huge amount. A house move type job, so really pleased.
Okay, and just finally, as a student, there's definitely a sense of community here at the college. Would you say the response has been testament to that?
Oh, without question. I mean, from the people who brought stuff in, from students and staff, and I think the fact that the cleaners were from Nepal and are our employees, then I think that really sparked something in our students and staff. And some of the students have been helping to man the station, to pack the clothes, especially at this busy time with exams, So I think it's overwhelmingly positive for the college. And any closer links we can get with the community, the better. I mean, we are very important to the community, actually, but they're also important to us. So yeah. I think there's been... I'm really proud of the college for doing this, actually.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
The donation desk will be accepting non-perishable food items as well as clothing for both adults and children, toiletries, cosmetics and anything else which can contribute to the Nepalese aid effort.
It's currently 10:10, it's 11 degrees outside and you are listening to H.O.T Radio. This time of year is always seen as a stressful period, especially for schools and colleges, as exam time is upon us. We had a talk with the head of student services here at Henley College about what they put in place to help those suffering with exam stress.
You've been the head of student services for some time now. How would you describe your job?
It's a challenge, very busy, particularly this time of year. My job is literally the welfare and well-being of students in the college. So the day-to-day is different reasons, different needs for me to be dealing with within the college.
With being the head of student services, you have put many things in place for students. What can you offer the students here at Henley College?
We offer them, the basics, things like the library services, the student learning centres, reprographics, those sorts of things. But also we offer bursaries, financial support. We offer transport, counselling service for students that are struggling. And now recently, since January, we've now got the college nurse on site who's here 3 days a week as well, helping with the welfare.
When referring to the counselling service that you have made accessible to all students at college, what sort of things do you or one of the counsellors here at college work on with the students when referring to exam stress?
The main thing we look at is mindfulness, is learning how to relax, learning the relaxing techniques that you can have, starting to think about other things other than exams, having breaks, having a sport or an activity to do outside of college, because a lot of the students come to us and they are literally doing 7, 8, 9 hours of revision and not having any breaks, and that's the biggest problem, is that's the worst thing you can possibly do. So we work on relaxation rather than revision technique.
Since you have been here at Henley College, or from a previous experience, is exam stress a common problem within college?
Oh yes, particularly now. It gets worse year on year. This is probably the worst year I've had since taking on the role.
If someone was suffering with exam stress right now, what advice would you give them and why?
First thing I would suggest you do is take a break, take a deep breath. It's not the end of the world. I would also consider going to see the college nurse, coming to see student services in the blue room behind reception, making an appointment to see the counsellors. If you can't do that, it is really just having some sort of revision timetable. Make sure you build in breaks, make sure you sleep a lot, don't drink alcohol, don't drink loads of caffeine, just try and have a healthy lifestyle and talk to someone.
So this college is rather huge. Just to confirm, where can students find you or gain help from you within the college?
It'd be quite hard to find me in my role because I'm head of student services, but certainly the blue room behind reception is the student services main area. Personal tutors have direct links through to me, so if there's problems with students, personal tutors contact me within sort of an hour, so then I can be found. But I'm actually right at the top of the D2 building, so it's 4 flights of stairs, so most people just phone me. So mainly the blue services room behind the reception.
Obviously, exam stress is quite a big issue within colleges and schools. Can you iterate why it's important for students to seek help if they are struggling?
The problem with exam stress is it can lead on to other things. That's the problem. So as students become more and more stressed, everything else becomes an issue. And what we don't want is exam stress leading to sort of the panic attacks, mental health sort of issues that can occur. So as soon as you're starting to feel stressed, you should seek help so that you can start to learn how to deal with it and make it more positive than a negative thing. Because actually, stress is good. I get stressed, and if I didn't get stressed, I wouldn't be good at my job. But it's learning that it's the good stress, not the bad stress.
Okay, thank you.
Exam stress affects a large amount of students, not only within the UK, but within the whole world. Childline conducted a questionnaire on pre-exam stress. It said that over 96% of 1,300 kids that did it said that they were anxious about up-and-coming exams, as well as 64% saying they had never ever received help for exam stress. But sadly, due to exam stress, a third of people have attempted to take their own lives by the age of 16. On the upside, the government have now put in over 22 million back into child welfare to support them in their emotional trials such as exam stress. It's currently 20 past 10, it's 12 degrees outside, and you are listening to H.O.T Radio. College is one of the last points of education that we will all go through. Although it can be stressful and tiring, it isn't all work, is it, Clara?
No, that's right, Jess. In the studio with us now is Linda Conifray, who is the head of enrichment and hockey coach at Henley College. How are you today, Linda?
I'm very well, thank you. In the sunshine, a lovely day.
Yes, it's a really lovely day. So the college has a massive enrichment programme and prides itself on this fact, but what exactly is enrichment?
The enrichment programme are all non-curricular activities. It's a way for students that come to the college to increase their experience being here, being able to join in and participate in lots of different varieties of activities that they possibly wouldn't have been able to do for reasons of finance or reasons of opportunity, and coming to the college we can give you this opportunity to have a go at things, something you haven't done before.
Wow, okay, so why do you feel it benefits the students?
Well, it benefits the students because it may be something they actually could be quite good at. Perhaps they haven't studied a language before, and then they can do Spanish, beginner Spanish at the college, pick it up, and it could be something that they would use in the future. One great moment of success for this was a girl that came to college and joined the Chinese group, and eventually she ended up going to university to study Chinese with business, and what an amazing future that will give her, work-wise and experience-wise too.
Cool. So do you think all students should participate in enrichment if their timetable allows them to, of course?
Absolutely, yes. Get out there and have a go at something different, something that you wouldn't have thought you'd have been able to do or would have wanted to do. Probably lots of students don't even actually participate in sport, don't have a club near them, don't have the money to join a club. But we've got gym, we've got squash, we've got hockey, football, rugby, tennis, anything, you name it, sports-wise, we're doing it here.
So I've been told that physical activity can help cope with stress. Now this is something that can help a lot of people, especially during exam time where students have loads of revision to do. Do you think this is a good reason for doing enrichment?
No, it's a good reason for taking up a sport, possibly. You can just get away, play a game, concentrate on the game, and it takes your mind away from worrying about your exams. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. As part of the enrichment programme, you have the World Challenge, where students get the opportunity to help out in poorer countries. Why have you chosen to do this?
Well, it's also part and parcel of the giving you more of an experience for your time at Henley College, to be able to go off to another country, to be the whole experience of actually being involved in a totally different culture, something that you wouldn't imagine that you could be involved in, to be helping some people more unfortunate than you are with, I don't know whether it be a community project, working in school or whatever, but also for you as a student to then take all of this new knowledge as you go on to university or whatever you want to do in life, and expand your horizons.
I'm pretty sure students will be interested in this. For those eager to participate, how do they sign up?
Well, just keep an eye on LearnZone. Obviously, we're not doing it's finished now. The World Challenge is organised for this year, but the World Challenge will be out there for next year for students if they want to join up. Just keep an eye on LearnZone. Watch out for announcements, students' newsletter, any way that we communicate with you, really.
Would you recommend this to students or, specific type of students that would enjoy this type of experience?
I would absolutely recommend it to anybody, absolutely. I don't know one student that hasn't come back and said it was the absolute opportunity of a lifetime. It's something you'll never forget. It's great to put down on your CV. It's sort of you as a person, it makes you grow as a person. You've experienced a lot more things than other people have. Absolutely 100% the best experience that you could ever possibly have. The only thing I would say that you would have to have sort of a reasonable amount of fitness.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to be doing lots of trekking. Obviously, you're going to be living in conditions that aren't quite as you would be living at home. But then that's part and parcel of the experience. So, yeah, a certain level of fitness, definitely. And also, you have to be committed to it because it is expensive. For the month's trip, it'll probably cost you in the region of about £3,700 to £4,000. You get lots and lots of help with your fundraising, but basically it's down to you. You have to actually want to raise the money to get you on your way to go there.
So you're also a hockey coach here at Henley College. What has been your best experience so far?
Absolutely the best experience is last year winning the Nationals. We won the Nationals Cup for mixed hockey. It was an amazing time there. A great combination to 2 years of hard work for the team.
That's really cool. So thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you very much for having me on the show, Clara.
You're welcome. Yes, we've learnt so much about the enrichment and the World Challenge, and I'm pretty sure that other students will certainly enjoy doing these activities. So thank you very much.
H.O.T Radio. We're coming into a warmer month, and I understand that there's one very important up-and-coming event written into our diaries of those across the country.
You would be correct in saying that, Jess. As for the residents of Henley-on-Thames, summit can mean only one thing: the fast-approaching regatta. An annual event since 1839, it has secured its position as being one of the most profound social events in the town's calendar. Over the past several years, however, organisers have implemented a number of rules that have seemed controversial to some. Most notably, dresses must not pass the knee, and men must wear jackets and ties. Additionally, a ban has been issued preventing fake tan, miniskirts and dresses which expose ample cleavage from being worn. Has this alienated those from attending? I spoke to residents to find out.
Can you explain whether you think that the regatta is a positive experience for Henley?
Yeah, I think it's positive because it brings people together and it promotes Henley as a town.
Have you ever attended the regatta yourself, and do you feel that the values have changed?
I haven't been myself, but people seem to dress nicer.
Do you plan on attending this year?
No.
Can you explain whether you think that the regatta is a positive experience on Henley?
I don't like it personally. I think it just makes the whole place messy. I know it's posh people come and they make it really dirty. I don't like coming to school here.
Have you ever attended the regatta yourself, and do you feel that the values have changed?
I've walked around it once and it wasn't very nice, and I'm not going to go again. It's pointless.
So you do not plan on attending this year?
No.
Do you think that the regatta is a positive experience for Henley?
Yeah, of course, yes.
And have you ever attended yourself, and do you think the values have changed in any way?
I don't attend because I'm always working, so no, so I wouldn't know that.
Okay, and do you plan to go this year?
It's not true that I don't want to, it's just because I'm working.
Okay, thank you.
Can you explain whether you think that the regatta is a positive experience for Henley?
I think it's definitely something. Yeah, it depends on your taste in entertainment, I guess.
Have you ever attended the regatta yourself, and do you feel that the values have changed?
I have attended a few times, but yeah, I guess over the years it has changed. There are more people enjoying it every single year, I guess.
Do you plan to attend this year?
Definitely, it's like a hobby of mine.
The majority of those we spoke to concluded that they would not be attending this year's regatta, with one lady who did not wish to be recorded, stating that it is not for the likes of her and is a gathering for society's elite, with many citizens stating that they no longer felt that this was for, and I quote, the people. One cannot help but fear that this former community affair has changed its focus from entertaining the masses to a primary wealthy demographic. Back to you, Jess.
So, within celebrity news, someone is coming to live near Henley-on-Thames. After his wedding last year to Amal Alameddin, George Clooney has now bought a mansion in the small town of Sonning. He is currently making renovations to his house, including adding security gates for their privacy, a pool, a cinema room, and having the whole grounds landscaped. Georgia Scandal is in the studio with me today, and we were saying earlier on how jealous we are about the cinema room that he has installed.
Do you think that cinema room has a snack bar, like popcorn and stuff? Because that would really make it awesome, in my opinion.
I reckon it will.
I want that house more than ever now.
Yeah, very, very jealous of George currently.
To say I'm jealous is an understatement. How much do you reckon I could buy it for?
It's too much money. Have you guys ever run a charity run? Well, this guy from Henley did, and he just took it that one step further. Clara is here to talk to us about this today.
Thank you, Jess. Well, if you've ever dreaded of walking all the way from Wembley to Henley, this is exactly what 25-year-old Rob Lay did. Rob had lost a bet with a few of his friends at a golf club where he worked, and as a result, he managed to raise a whopping £7,000 for Motor Neurone Disease Association, and he walked 30.7 miles. He trekked through several towns, including Slough and Maidenhead. He was even greeted by Peter Phillips, a former captain at the golf club he works at, who was diagnosed with motor neuron disease in 2012.
Whoa, that is one immense guy.
Yeah.
Very proud, very proud.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the fact that he comes from Henley and he's very dedicated to his golf club. It's absolutely amazing.
I mean, Wembley to Henley, that's a really long way to walk.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And not many people would do that, I don't feel. But, you know, it's a really positive thing, and
is very appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the news on H.O.T Radio. You are now in the mix with Calera. Have a good day.
H.O.T Radio.